thought I was helping.
No, you're not helping. Stop moving. This is how I'm starting the episode. Dave keeps fucking shit up.
I do.
Okay. Hey, welcome to... See? He did it again. Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Scott. There's Dave. And hey, today's review, we are entering a month of sci-fi features. And man, have we got a treat for you. Forbidden Planet. I had never seen it. You owe it to yourself. Go watch it. Listen to our review afterwards. I think you will enjoy this movie. It blew my mind in ways that I did not think possible for such an old film. So
yeah, it's very good.
So anything going on with you?
Don't forget to hit like,
yes,
subscribe, share, tell your friends. If there's a way to share our videos on your Facebook page or your whatever social media you belong to, go ahead and do so. And for my saying that, I want to thank Bruise and Biceps for sharing us on their Facebook page.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Very nice of you. You go ahead first, and then I'll throw my.
I said I wasn't going to say anything, but that guy's got me pissed off right now. There is somebody on YouTube that is using our name, Old Ass Movie Reviews. We're coming for you. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, now that I got that out of the way, and I feel better about it.
You feel better?
Okay. Yeah, I feel better.
Okay.
Yeah. He ain't gonna know what's hitting.
The pain in the ass is he's got more goddamn followers than we do.
Isn't that fucked up?
Son of a bitch. He's been doing it not even a third of the time.
We've got a lot of episodes, but lately I've been watching a show that's only on Peacock, on the Peacock network, because I rented I got Peacock for a month I know it's not a condition. Peacock is not a condition. I'm just saying. But I got it just to watch the latest Halloween movie, and they have a series that they produced that's Dan Brown's Lost Symbol. So if you're a fan of Dan Brown and the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons and stuff like that, this is a series based on his book, The Lost Symbol. Really good, really well done. If you're a fan of those,
right?
So I've been liking that a lot. So I think that's worth a watch. It's pretty good. Nice. Also, I started watching on Apple. As I was saying earlier, I've been watching a lot of Apple TV stuff and noticing everybody has an iPhone without a case, and there's every MacBook, everything is like iWatches and all that. It's like, wow, of course they do. But I'm watching a show called Invasion, and it's an alien invasion series.
And all the aliens have laptop iPads.
No, the aliens are wicked. We haven't seen much of them. I'm like 4 episodes in and you've hardly seen anything. Mm-hmm. But it's, I will say this, for anybody who's preparing to watch it, it's slow. It's very slow. But there's a little making of, a little behind the scenes kind of thing. And they talk about how this is a drama based on people and how they handle this event more than it is an alien invasion. So it is a heavy drama with an alien invasion backdrop. So knowing that, I know I'm going to get slow, and it sucked me right in. It's well done. It's really well done. Sam Neill's in it. I still don't know if he's still alive or not. He was in the first episode. I haven't seen him since. So not giving spoilers. Don't know what happened to Sam, but a dinosaur ate him. What was funny though is during that Jurassic Park thing with Sam Neill, you know how he talked about how he hated doing an American accent? Yeah. Well, he's an Oklahoma sheriff in this. It's like, oh, Sam. He does it well. You can't tell I think he's New Zealand or a Kiwi.
Yeah, I think he's New Zealand.
So what about you?
I've started rewatching, and I'm glad I refound this show. It's called British Ghosts. And there's a girl named Michaela Strackland, who does the hosting, and she's just this little cute British lady. But they go into all these old haunted houses in Ireland, Scotland, Britain, just goes into towns, like haunted towns and stuff, and walks around. And we watched it when it was first being showed in the U.S., and I've been looking for it for years and couldn't find it anywhere. And we dumbly just typed in her name, into YouTube, and she came up with somebody got all the shows on YouTube, and I was like, there I am, man. This is great. And I'm rewatching some of them and giving me a lot of good ideas for Donny Jones and Skeeter.
Yes.
And just some of the things are really creepy, like
cool,
just really creepy hauntings, and then other ones are just, well, that's kind of cool. That's, nothing really bad's going on there. It's just kind of a neat haunting, little ghosts and stuff. For me, I don't know how you feel, but I'm a huge believer in ghosts.
I am too.
I believe there's more to this world, Horatio, than meets the eye, as it were.
There's a lot of unexplained stuff out there, and without starting a complete new paranormal podcast, which we could do, so ding.
Hey, there's a popcorn moment.
There is a popcorn moment. Absolutely. And I'm actually holding a popcorn kernel to give me inspiration. No, it's because I didn't want to eat it. But anyway, it gives me the inspiration. I don't know where I was going, but yeah, that was, what did I say? Ghosts. Ghosts. Yes, a firm believer in ghosts. Absolutely. Wow. It's been a long day at work. It's been a long day. But yeah, with ghosts, there's so much unexplainable out there and everything. Yeah. You know what? People are always like, wow, you fucking idiot. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I am a firm believer that science can explain a lot of things. And one of the ways I've heard it explained best was on, I think it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I can't remember the character's name who said it, that magic is just science we don't understand yet.
That used to be Tony Stark saying whenever he talked to.
That's why she had said it.
I was going to say Mandrake the Magician, but it's not Mandrake. It's Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. It's a perfect idea. Yeah. Yeah. So we know there's stuff out there. I've had so many experiences, and maybe we ought to do a little bit of that sometime and talk about ghost stories and experience. I really like that idea. So
I love stuff like that.
Hey. Awesome. A little popcorn moment. So you watch this on YouTube. That's
on
where
YouTube,
we can find it.
And if anybody's interested in like the paranormal, the supernatural, or just a good ghost story, or like things that you're like, oh, this is kind of unexplained. She's got some really good shows on there. She's a really good not commentator, presenter. She's a really good presenter. And it's just all the stuff in Britain, and those houses there are so much older than anything we have in this country, unless you find some Viking ruins or what have you up in Nova Scotia or along the Maine coastline. But other than that,
I have to input in that, because you're one of the few people that do realize the Vikings did make it here.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So
they found before the ships in the burial grounds. I mean,
yeah, I was reading about that recently, actually, about in Newfoundland, a whole settlement there, and it's like, wow.
Yeah,
and it's
they unearthed it. They found the village under. They dug down and they found it. It's right there. You can't deny that. I mean,
no, I know, but here we go, Christopher Columbus again.
Well, if you go down to South America, in Brazil, they have the big sculpted heads, and they think the Chinese merchants hit down there way before anybody else did. Yeah. Like maybe even possibly before the Vikings hit the Northland. They think the Chinese maybe hit South America. And I'm like,
that's amazing.
It would explain a lot of stuff that's down there, like statue wise and statuary.
It would. I think that kind of stuff is really cool to me. I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in extraterrestrials, because just mathematically, I'm sorry, we're not the only ones. There's no way in hell.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
For my thinking is if we're the best that God can do,
we're fucked.
He's going to be.
He's a weak motherfucker right now and then.
He's got to just be shaking his head, going, "I could only get one planet out of all this." I don't think so. I think there's too many stars up there. There's too much stuff going on. There's too many things.
Too many unexplained.
And the moon is hollow. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So is the Earth. We have the hollow Earth theory and all the other stuff. But no,
there's just so many weird stories that come up, and you're like, "What? This can't all be true." And what if every ancient alien episode is true?
They bring up some good points.
I don't apologize to that guy.
I think, he don't care. He's going to the bank with his crazy hair.
Right.
Aliens. It brings up questions, and anything that's entertaining and makes me question, I think, is a good watch.
Right.
I don't necessarily have to buy into it, but if you
Right,
present
right,
some
right.
things, get my brain turning. Okay, you got me. Show me what I
Right.
need to see.
Right.
And that's, but aliens. Speaking of aliens, shall we move on to our review?
I think we should.
Forbidden Planet, starring Leslie Nielsen. Yes, that Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
And it's a cool fucking movie. So I hope you enjoy our review, and catch you later. Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. Review of Dave. Tell us what beauty of a movie we got today.
We are looking at Forbidden Planet. Leslie Nielsen.
I know. Holy
shit. Movie.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen was it.
Surely you must be kidding.
I'm not kidding, and stop calling me Shirley. This is back like in 1955. They made this movie. This is the first sci-fi movie with a budget, with a good sized budget.
It had a big budget, yeah.
First sci-fi movie that was considered well written. Like if you look at classic example of what I'm trying to explain to folks is look at Devil Girl from Mars.
Yeah.
Hard for me to speak sometimes. And this movie, Forbidden Planet. The difference is night and day in the script writing. The difference is night and day in the action, in the dialogue, in just the special effects. Everything was just knocked up about 5 notches for this movie.
It's insane. It's insane.
Before we go too much further, folks, I'm sorry. Please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
I'm actually pointing to a button, not where you think.
Hit the like button.
Wait, what?
The like button.
What's the shirt? What's the shirt? Shirt?
Oh, you didn't see this? We're wearing these for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
It's a work shirt?
Yeah. Wednesdays.
That's really fucking cool.
We have a good boss.
I would wear that shirt. I would wear a bright pink one.
I couldn't find a pink one.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a pink one that fit me that was like had something nice on it.
I saw Mother across the top and I went all Samuel L. Jackson.
Mother!
Fuckers!
Yeah, your children.
No, not Glenn Danzig.
Sorry, I was going into Danzig. I was going to Glenn Danzig. I'm sorry. Jackson Danzig on stage again. Or 41st time. No, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and send us a comment. Share us around. We're cheap.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. But to get back to the movie, what I want to know what you thought. What did you think?
I have notes.
God, really?
First off, folks, I haven't made notes in a long time. Okay,
I have notes too.
If you haven't watched this, we're going to spoil the fuck out of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
So stop, go watch it. I have never seen this movie, and I don't know how. But this is one of those movies that I was so fucking surprised by. That was like, oh my God, will you look at these effects? Now, a lot of times we talk about watching things in higher resolution and you can see the wires and stuff. I watched this in 4K resolution on a big screen. Really? It looked gorgeous. It was fine. The only thing I caught was a superimposing of the tiger by Ellie Mae at the cement pond.
Oh, right. Well, they kind of had to do that. They kind of had to. You don't want a 1-ton Bengal tiger jumping on your main actress there.
Yeah, old Ellie Mae Clampett.
Yeah, Ellie Mae Annie Francis.
Yes,
Annie Francis played that part.
Okay, the first note I took is the best quote from this whole fucking movie.
What's that?
And it comes from Robbie the Robot. Sorry, miss. I was giving myself an oil job.
Yes. Oh, God. For the first time, I caught that last night when I was watching it. And me and the old lady just looked at each other and started laughing. She's like, really? I was like,
really? And there's even a point where the cook or whatever says, you hook me up with all this bourbon and I will get you all the lube and oil you need. And it's like, what is going on with this movie now?
Hey, Cook, relax. He's a robot.
Okay. I really don't have a lot of notes other than the effects are fucking amazing. The in-camera stuff that is done here, the perspective, the miniatures, everything about it. They spent some money and it shows, but the camera work, the animation.
Did you catch?
Animation is great.
Did you catch who was on loan and where from?
Somebody from Disney, and I forgot the name.
It was, the guy's name is, he was a Disney animator, and I've read this name before, Joshua Mador, Meador. He animated the monster that's coming through the electrical field, which is a brilliant design. I mean, you don't even see this thing until it's charged with electricity, and then all you see is the outline. And then he did all the like laser blasts and stuff like that, and the tiger, as the tiger jumps down and gets disintegrated, and like to like 29 or 30 other like special effects. And he's from Disney. He was on loan from Disney Animation. MGM at one point had that huge, beautiful animation studio, and they weren't doing animation at this point. They didn't have anybody on set or in-house to do it. So they had to go to Disney and go, did you loan us a guy to draw pictures?
Yeah, and he did a great
job. That's incredible to me. Yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful stuff.
When you finally see the monster, which is huge.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen more current stuff with shitty animation.
Yeah.
This was so well done.
All hand done.
It's beautiful.
All hand done. I can't imagine somebody doing this now.
Here's the thing. I recommend everybody watch this movie. I'm just going to get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Definitely watch it, because what I got from this was the origin of a lot of sci-fi as we know it today.
Yes.
And you cannot tell me that fucking Ridley Scott did not watch this and dream up aliens.
You know he did. You know that's where he got a lot of
this. You had the engineers with the Krell were the engineers. You had the monster, which was the aliens. And all these people were all of a sudden dead on a planet.
Yep.
Then you have the evil scientist who is greedy and wants it all to himself. And it's
you see him as greedy. I didn't see him as greedy. I saw him as like looking at humanity going, you guys aren't ready for this.
It's not his call to make. And he was an arrogant prick.
See, and I agreed with him. I actually agreed with him.
I disagree. And it was because of him and his fears. His fears is what drove out that monster and killed everybody else.
Yeah.
So if he was really benevolent or whatever, he would have tried to share all of that info.
But remember, it was the one thing, that his doctor, the friend from the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back.
Yeah, let's
go back a little bit. I'm going to start with just who's in this movie.
There we go.
Leslie Nielsen. Walter Pidgeon plays Dr. Morbius. That's the main guy on the planet. That's already planet side. Anne Francis plays Altira. That's Dr. Morbius's daughter. Robbie the Robot, his first appearance. What a good actor. I mean, he went on to do some more robot stuff.
Yeah.
Earl Holliman is the cook in this series or in the movie.
I've seen him before.
Do you remember? We're going to show our age again. Do you remember in maybe Fridays nights, Saturday nights, Policewoman with Angie Dickinson?
Yes.
That was her partner.
Oh my God.
But if you're a huge Twilight Zone fan like me, you will recognize him from the very first episode of the Twilight Zone. Is anybody out there? Or I think is the name of it. I forgot the name. As I'm saying, what a great Twilight Zone fan I am. Is anybody there? I think is the name of the episode. And that episode is Holliman walking around by himself all through this town. And the town is the same town and set that Back to the Future is filmed on.
Oh my God.
I'm a geek. I can't
Which
help
also
it.
ties into Gremlins because they
right. Which you're right. You're right.
Because when we did our Gremlins review, I'm watching this like, why do I think I'm watching Back to the Future? Oh,
you kept waiting for a DeLorean to go flying
I know, right?
in. Don't get him wet, Marty. What happens is Earth has sent an expedition with Leslie Nielsen as the captain to find a ship that's on Altair 4, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Altair 4. And he finds out the ship was crash landed and everybody but one man and his daughter is dead. A little side note about how much this movie has helped people or influenced people. Gene Roddenberry was a huge fan.
I have in my notes. I have in my notes before you even reveal this.
Go ahead.
I just wrote down the origin of Star Trek.
Exactly. Roddenberry evidently in interviews had said he saw that and was like, oh my God, I can do something with this. And
this could have been a series, and it is.
Yeah.
It's called Star Trek.
And where they got the call sign for the Enterprise 1701, that's what time it is on the clock in C-57D, the spacecraft, whenever they land on planet surface. That's what I read. And I was just laughing. I was like, oh my God, that is just a little tidbit, like if that's
that is
true,
amazing,
that is so cool,
dude. That is absolutely really cool because I had such a Star Trek vibe. Watching
that's Star Trek written all over it.
It did. It really did. Even the whole setup. Let's go investigate what happened. And that's when this happened, I started getting the aliens vibe.
Yeah, definitely. I never got the aliens vibe until you said that. But yeah, I could see where Ridley Scott would have seen this and went, I have an idea. I've got a hell of an idea. And that's just freaking brilliant. Just brilliant. I had another note. It was the first movie to have strictly electronic music.
Really?
An electronic soundtrack.
Interesting.
And evidently Shearer was the producer, I want to say is the guy who produces this movie, found a husband and wife team in Greenwich Village back in the 50s. And they were playing some stuff at a bar or whatever. And he hired them to do the soundtrack. He was like,
wow.
That's the sound I'm looking for, and hired them, sent them the canned film. Here's the rough cut.
Score it. Wow.
Score it. They scored it. When they sent it back, he was like, that's perfect. He didn't ask for anything else. He's like, that's what I want. That's exactly the sound I want.
It is well scored. It sounds good. It's neat. There's so many moments when I just started laughing out loud in this movie because this is the 50s, and it reminds me of when I go to Disney World and go to the World of the Future, and you see how it was in the 60s when they built this park.
Yeah,
and they're showing this stuff, and it really, so he plays some music, and it's absolutely, it sounds like whales that are drowning.
Oh yeah, when he's playing the Krill music.
Yeah, it's like I found some Krill music, and all it did was make me think of Bob and Doug McKenzie in their movie, where they try and play a floppy disk on a record player and it makes these god awful noises. It's like, oh, that's just a bootleg. Oh yeah, that's them bootlegs, eh?
It's a bootleg, eh? Give me another brewski, eh?
I don't know why that's where my brain went, but yeah, it was Bob and Doug in this movie. But seeing Leslie Nielsen in a serious role, he can't help but have his comedic timing. Yeah. I mean, his facial expressions, his delivery is like, the man is a genius and doesn't even know it.
Well, he was a big name. I mean, a lot of people don't realize this, that he had basically all but retired by the time Airplane came out.
Yeah.
And when they went to him for Airplane, he had always been known as a serious actor. He never played comedy. There was no comedy chops there. They said, you're perfect. You're the guy we want. And he was like, I'm a serious actor. I don't do comedy. Whoever it was like, you're the guy we want. And it worked
because
perfectly.
He plays it straight.
It revitalized his entire career as a comedic actor. And he never looked back. He was like, I've never been this popular in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, because
he's brilliant.
Actor.
You can see what a good actor he is in there. But I just only have seen, I've only known of Leslie since Police Squad,
right.
Naked Gun, Airplane, all of that. So seeing him in these, in a serious role was like, wow, this is weird. And I could see how he's popular. Good looking guy. He's the captain of the ship. What I want to say J.J. Abrams, but J.J. Adams or whatever.
He was Captain Kirk, basically.
He was, and they even referenced he's notorious in all the galaxies.
Yeah, and I liked whenever here's what's really funny is the girl has been raised. Altera has been raised, played by Anne Francis, has been raised by her father. She's not had any other human contact. Mm-hmm. There's nothing weird going on, like nowadays they would try and make it weird. But in this movie, the father's just raising his daughter and, hoping to one day maybe get her back to Earth, but not planning on it because he don't give a shit. But when the humans land, this girl is just so gorgeous. The crew members that go with the captain to the homestead are just all like gaping at this beautiful blonde, tiny, petite thing. And one of the lieutenants is like, I'm going to make a move on her, why not? And he's explaining a kiss. And the girl's like, what's a kiss? And she basically starts playing this guy. I mean, after the first or second kiss, I get the feeling she's just fucking with this guy now. Like, cause she likes it, but she can't, she's not going to tell him. But he's like, oh, well, it'll make your heart beat faster and this and that. And he kisses her and she's like,
nothing.
I don't get in. I've got nothing. But then the captain comes around the corner about the third or fourth time the lieutenant's kissing her. And he's like, what are you doing? You got to remember yourself, your space patrol or whatever they call themselves. Get back to the ship. And the guy's like getting all huffy at first. And then the captain's looking at her and she's like, well, what's wrong? Do you want to kiss me? He's like, no, I don't, I'm the captain. I'm he's trying to be the good guy and he's yelling at her and she's like, she's kind of taken aback and he's super attracted to her. You can see it.
Oh yeah.
But they don't kiss yet. She goes off and changes her costume because he says, you can't go around doing, what does he say? You can't go around dressed like that.
Because it wouldn't have mattered what she was wearing. Those men had been a year in cryostasis or whatever, and it was time.
And he's like, I got 18. What did he say? I have 18 of the most physically perfect and brilliant minds on my ship, and they've all been in deep space for a year and a half to get here. And they were without any woman, so you can't go around. And it just reminded me of something Captain Kirk would have said to somebody or done something like that to somebody who doesn't understand humanity at all.
Right.
There's nothing there for her to compare it to.
Yeah, and from the just looking at, since Roddenberry was obviously a fan, they would always have these little planets that the ship would stop off and crew would take leave on these pleasure planets.
Right.
They've been gone for so long.
Yeah, well, why not? It's a pleasure planet. Well, it wasn't.
Yeah,
you guys got here.
That was one of the things, though, that really got me, again, is just, this was Star Trek. Huh? This was a Star Trek episode.
Here's the thing. Altair 4 and Altair 7 all show up in Star Trek mythos.
Oh my God.
It's a planet that they reference.
Oh wow. Do they reference the Krell?
I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
That would be
cool.
And
it's funny because at one point they're talking about, I think it was on Deep Space Nine, they talk about one of the Altair planets exploding. So I was like, oh man, that is brilliant. That is freaking brilliant. But the movie takes place. They get there. You find out that the Krell have all died like 2 million years ago. They had built this computer that if you're standing in the center of this computer on the planet, it's 20 miles in one direction, it's 20 miles in another direction. God only knows how high and how deep, because he never says how high.
All he said was 7,800 levels.
Yeah, thing is huge. And it's basically a thinking planet at this point.
Yeah, the planet is alive. For the most
and the
part.
guy that gets into the guy's head, and Dr. Morbius's head, and he's trying to explain to them that, this isn't safe for everybody. You guys don't get this. That's why I'm not going to give you this information. Humanity will just destroy themselves with it. And see where I agree with that. You disagree with that.
No, I agree with that sentiment, but it's not up to him. And that's...
Yeah, but really, would you really want to give that kind of information to any government?
No, I would probably try and find a way to destroy it. But here's the problem, and that's why I love these type of movies. That's why I love these movies so much, is because you have got the ability to solve all the world's problems, or the ability to create all the problems.
Yeah, all the galaxy's problems at that point, because they've been traveling for about 200 years.
And you can't trust anybody. And it was shown up. Now, he talks about the Krell. Is they built this, and they didn't account for the machine picking up and creating monsters from their own subconscious.
Yep.
Which I took this as a very allegorical movie about the evils of man, or greed, or sin, or however way you want to take it.
And it's not just man. Everybody had that, it seems like, right?
Yeah. When I say man, I mean all people, aliens, mankind. Bipeds. Right. Okay, bipeds. I have to be exclusive.
Humanoids.
Humanoids a little racist there, David.
Let me racist, I guess. Humanoids.
Oh, well, whatever. Anyway.
I feel like I'm arguing with a Klingon. Human rights. Even the term is racist.
Anyway. So, but they had done that. They didn't account for that. They didn't expect that to happen, because they were just so... It comes down to the Jurassic Park. No one asked if they should.
You knew you could, but should you? You're right. You're right. Even in everything. Even in a super advanced alien species, did it because they could, not because they should. And that's, you know what? You're right. That's very interesting. I never thought of that.
And that's why when I watched this, I had this whole AI vibe. I'm thinking Battlestar Galactica. The movie I mentioned to you, Ex Machina. And it just goes on and on. Blade Runner. You can just keep going. And then Aliens. It still feels very alien. It felt Aliens to me. So I'm going to have to look and see if Ridley Scott ever mentions this movie.
If he doesn't, I'd be shocked.
I would too,
really
because he stole from it.
And
who wouldn't? I would too.
I would too. I mean, if you just look at Star Trek, I mean, this is a Star Trek.
The little tubes,
This is Star Trek before Star Trek had the engine nacelles. Really?
Yes.
I mean,
they were already light speed. They were, and they were basically investigating.
And as far as I know, this is the first movie. I could be wrong. If somebody knows something out there, let me know. This, I think, is the first movie where they actually talk about light speed and going faster than light.
You're probably right.
And they have that whole,
to hear that.
They have that whole thing set up where they have the ship in the center of it, and it's like a space. It's inside a globe, and you can see the spaceship. So they're steering the spaceship using the coordinates from this globe from the inside.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's brilliant, because that's space. You're not up and down, right and left.
No, you've got
space is just, it's there. So you have to figure out, okay, mathematically, this is where I'm going. And the guy looks like he's really paying attention to what he's doing. So that worked really well too. And it's the first movie that I can ever remember seeing where it looked like they put thought into, well, how do you fly this thing? How did we get here? How do we not get crushed when we're going faster than light speed? And what do? They get into those
and I thought they were beaming somewhere. It's like, oh my God, this is Star Trek.
The first time I saw it, I was like, oh shit, they're all beaming out. Like,
no.
But no, it was like some kind of protective light beam barrier.
Now, I did find
light speed.
Little niggling.
That's
complaints.
Fine.
Again, we have control panels with no fucking labels of any kind. Just some lights and some switches. Really?
They know what they're doing.
I know how to drive my car. You go erase everything that says something. I'm going to get confused setting my goddamn cruise control. I'm just telling you.
Look, where's my blinker at?
I don't know. Jesus Christ, why are them wipers on?
Turn my wipers off.
You know, it just
No, you're
that's
right.
one thing that
You're
always
right.
gets me. But they did put a lot of thought into set design. They didn't just put a desk in the middle of a room
Right.
with a crank phone and call it a damn.
With a fucking shower curtain behind him.
Or they didn't build an airplane with little wooden
wooden
sticks.
thing.
But even like that movie, this movie had heart. This had a desire to make something really cool. And they really fucking did. Now, when I watched the trailer, I didn't see this in the actual movie, but they did a credit crawl in the trailer like Star Wars. It's gold and it's rolling up. And
Really?
I was like, oh my God.
Because in the movie, they did it kind of sideways.
It was kind of, it was kind of curved.
Rounded. Yeah.
But on the trailer, there's a little crawl that goes up like Star Wars. And I fully expected to see a cruiser come across the top.
Yeah, that would have been kick-ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, the special effects, even around the spaceship. Because they opened it up with the spaceship going through, like, I think it's coming at the camera.
Yeah, and the planets and showing.
Yeah.
This holds up today. And very rarely will I say something that, let's say, we're 1956, we're looking at almost 70 years.
Yeah.
These effects still hold up fine, unless you're a snob.
You know what? I would say that I think I'm a snob, but I like Ed Wood movies, so I can't really.
These really do hold up, and I think what holds up is they did so much practically.
A lot of in camera. Most of that stuff was done in camera,
and just the animation of the monster was great. Making the footprints of the monster, making the steps. When
they did the
cast,
the casting mold for the footprint, they're looking at this footprint. That foot was huge.
Now, let me explain to our listeners what was happening is Dr. Morbius had
probably let him in on the
had discovered that what happened to the Krell was that while they did create this living planet basically that can take care of everything anybody would ever need, it also tapped into their subconscious, to their id, if you will, and the monsters from mankind or human beings or whatever in our brains, in our subconscious, come through.
I think they called it the id, right?
They called it the id, yeah. So it came through and destroyed people. And then you come to find out that Dr. Morbius is more than likely responsible for killing all the survivors. Mm-hmm. He didn't realize it. Right. He really didn't. And that's another problem I have with the movie. Okay, so he had elevated his intelligence with that device. The doctor who killed himself by elevating his intelligence and gave that final word had some info, but who really figured it out was Leslie Nielsen, who had below average intelligence, and he put it all together, and the doctor's like, gee, I never thought of it that way.
It's like the sheriff from Eureka. All the super scientists are about ready to destroy the earth, and he's like, do you really think that's a good idea to have those two labs right next to each other? You ever see Eureka?
I haven't. Oh my God. It sounds like something I would like.
Yeah, Eureka is very great because it's just an average Joe sheriff on a super secret base with all these super scientists that are just always fucking up. And the guy who always figures out what's going on is the plain guy, the guy who's just like got common sense instead of the super scientist who's trying to do something because they can, not because they should. And he's always like, don't you think we should not shoot that flare into the sun because it could blow up the sun? Maybe you guys should stop and think about this.
That was one of the issues I had with the character of Morbius. It was very obvious from the first second he was hiding something.
Right.
And I would think somebody that smart would know that he's going to tip people off if he doesn't just come clean with a very plausible story.
Well, he does finally come. He does. Well, no, he finally comes clean when he comes out and they're all in his office.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, okay, you caught me.
Yeah. But even then, he still was, he was not a very trustworthy person. And I get it. Look, you run across something, and I absolutely get your argument for saying, do you want to share that? No, look, you know me as well that I don't have much faith in humanity, period. I will welcome robot overlords. Yeah. I just had a hard time getting behind Morbius, even though I know he was probably doing the right thing.
Right. He was trying. I think he was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. I think I don't think he wasn't an evil.
Blinded.
He wasn't an evil character. He was not evil.
He was just blinded to his own what he thought was right.
He wanted to
and what
protect
he
his
thought
daughter.
was right was kind of right, but he also didn't take into account, like, gee, I wonder what the hell killed my entire crew. Yeah. After they all died, and it went away. Wouldn't you just sit back and go,
if you had that intellect, you would. And that's it's a small little part of the story that I think had an issue, but other than that, it's well done. It's a neat concept. It's kind of Matrixy. It's kind of Aliens. It's Star Trek. It's dealing with AI.
Those the in-camera shots of them when they're walking, and you can kind of tell. I mean, you can tell that that's probably a painting or some kind of in-shot. But my God, it was so good. Because they're walking and you can see them, and the machinery of the planet is moving up and down and back and forth. And there's a big hallway where they're walking, and it's a bird's eye view looking down on Morbius and the two guys from the ship. And it's just so well done. For 1956 and today, I think if they tried to do that today, they'd screw some of the stuff up.
It was very well done. And that's one of the things I noticed is like, okay, yes, I understand this is a camera trick I'm seeing.
Right.
But the fact that they were able to get items in the background moving through that depth as they were walking. We see a lot of that in Star Wars. In episode 4.
Definitely.
They do a lot of that inside the Death Star and the landing bays and everything. That whole in-camera stuff that works so damn well. And this is 1956, people.
Right.
I'm just saying.
The outside, when they're outside the spaceship, that was one of the most impressive sets I'd seen. Because you know that's a painting. I mean, you know that
it was well done, though. I mean, the planets and everything.
Yeah, that's so well done. And the two guys are out there doing their watch at night, and they're like, man, it's really weird to see two moons at night, isn't it? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, it is kind of neat. But it's kind of nice here. It's kind of cool. But when you see the depth that they put in, because everything's fake. I mean, everything's absolutely fake. There's not.
It's all on a stage.
They're not actually outside. It's all on stage. But the way the miniatures were working, the push, the hard push to get the mountains in the background look like mountains in the background. And when Robbie's pulling up the first time, Robbie the robot,
man, he's hauling ass in that car.
That son of a bitch has got to be doing 400 miles an hour. And they're like, man, something's coming up fast. It's showing up on our radar. What the hell is nothing could move that fast. And, you just see this little dust cloud like in the distance. And then all of a sudden it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's Robbie the robot and his little, super go mobile. And he just stops, boom, right in front of the ship, like instantly. And you're like, holy crap. And it just dawned on me as I'm saying this out loud. That was all part of the Krell technology, just like Robbie was part of the Krell technology when the doctor boosted his brain because he said he tinkered with it and he's like,
I'm glad they explained that he had enhanced his intelligence because he was a entomologist, so he was a linguist. He knew about words and where they came from.
Right.
That's not somebody who builds a damn robot that can replicate. With a replicator, Star Trek.
Yeah, there you go. Right? Yep. Cool. You're right. Oh my gosh. But there's like some things that were just so neat. And like you said, if somebody's watching this movie, you're going to see a bunch of other movies that you recognize.
Oh my God, yes.
One movie. You named 3 of them.
And we can keep going.
Yeah, you can. Keep going. I'm sure you could. And I just discovered this movie. Like I had heard about it like ever since I was a little kid, but I don't remember seeing this movie before 12 or 15 years ago.
Okay.
And I probably managed to watch it. Like I never saw it all the way through until that. I knew Robbie the robot was in it, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this is. Oh, Leslie Nielsen's in it. Oh, I wonder what that is. One day I'll watch it. I finally did about 12 or 15 years ago, and I've watched it just about every year, at least once every year since. Because it is such a well-written movie. It is so well acted. Like I said, you got Anne Francis, who's just this little petite thing, and then you got Leslie Nielsen, he's a big, good-looking guy, especially back then. Yeah, he's chilly. Man. Yeah, he's got the big chest. He's like, hey, I'm the captain of the ship. Want to see it?
My ship.
Yeah, that's my ship. That's mine. I'm the captain. Like those guys, they work for me.
Yeah. He was Captain Kirk. He was Captain Kirk all day long.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did you recognize the chief?
I don't think so.
Ever watch Bionic Woman, Bionic Man?
Yeah.
That was their commander. That was the guy that was in charge of the whole bionic.
Holy shit!
Bionic background or bionic.
Yeah.
Super soldiers, whatever the hell.
Amazing what they could do for $6 million back then.
Right?
Yeah.
Do. Could you imagine what that would cost now? The $25 billion man.
Parts from Amazon.
Parts from Amazon. Parts from China. Ah, they'll never get here.
It's the $1 million man. Oh, wait. Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Thankfully, I don't have to edit that one. Okay, but
we're on somebody's hit list.
I'm sure.
Offended somebody.
So, I'll go ahead and give my final thoughts on this.
Yeah.
This is an excellent starting point for anybody who wants to watch the origin of our sci-fi films and television shows that we have today. You will watch this and see stuff that you have seen already, and it's like, wow, so that's where this came from. And it gives watching it. There was times I would have loved to have seen this as a kid. I would have been blown away.
I would have loved to have seen this on the big screen. I'd love to see if this is ever shown on one of those, like, 2 nights only. If it's not during a fucking week, people learn how to show a movie like this during a weekend. Some of us work, is all I'm saying. If this is ever shown on a big screen, widescreen, on a big screen, I'm going to go to it because I just want that old 1950s, and it's not 3D, so nothing's in your face. Nothing's like, ooh, look, we're 3D.
Yeah, that's still a gimmick.
Yeah, it is still a gimmick, very much bad. But the special effects, I would love to see that. I'd love to see that on the big screen.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yeah, you're right. You'll see Star Trek. You'll see some Star Wars. You'll definitely, I think you're right. I think Aliens. I think you'll see a bit of an alien vibe in there.
So much in this. I was like, oh my God.
This is such a good movie. There's so much good in this movie. I'm not even going to pick anything apart. I know there's supposedly some bad shots and a wire here and whatever there, but I didn't see any of it when I was watching it. And I watched
it at the highest resolution that you can possibly watch it. And the only thing I caught was a little box scene around the tiger.
Right.
And that was it. And it's like, wow, you guys did great. Because usually when I watch these old movies upscaled to such a high resolution, you see the wires, you see all the shit.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer grainy. The shit's just crystal clear.
And that's why I can't watch them in that, like that higher res. It's like, I don't even like watching anything in high def anymore. It's like I tried to. I'm like,
it looked great.
You're ruining it.
Absolutely great. No,
but that's fantastic.
It was a good conversion, and a lot of times I think that's what happens. Some people just up the stuff versus just doing an actual good restoration to 4K or whatever because from the film. And if they do that, then it shows.
Yeah. So I'll have to agree with you 100%. This was a great movie. It's probably one of my favorite movies as far as sci-fi, especially old sci-fi. This is probably one of my favorite movies. I put this right up there with Wrath of Khan, Star Wars, Forbidden Planet. Those are my 3 island movies.
I have a regret about this movie. I rented it. I wish I would have bought it.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
I could not find my copy anywhere, so I did have to rent it.
Okay.
I was like, where the hell I gotta watch this movie? Where's my copy? Couldn't find it. I'm like, I just looked at it 2 days ago. I put it someplace safe so I would find it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the hell I do with
it. Yeah. So it's definitely worth the purchase. It's worth the rental. It's worth the watch.
Yeah.
It's a great intro to sci-fi of the 50s, and to see it's interesting. We went from we just did a round of Tolkien movies, which show the origins of fantasy that we know today. And now we just watched a movie that shows you where you're going to get every sci-fi film from.
And I didn't when I suggested this, That's not what I was thinking about, but
Really?
you're absolutely right. I was hoping that you would like it.
Yeah.
Because you and I like a lot of movies that we like try to say, hey, you'll like this. I think you'll like this if you actually watch it. And that's what I was hoping for. I was just hoping you to go, oh yeah, that was pretty good. I'm glad that you really liked it. And I'm glad you picked up some of the nuances of I've seen that before. You know, that's where they got this. That's where they got that. That's absolutely fantastic. I love to hear that.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the watch, and I recommend all of y'all to watch it. We occasionally hit on some gems. I put this right up there with Devil Girl from Mars.
Yeah,
completely unexpected movie. Devil Girl from Mars does have is owed its due for the influences that it has made as well.
Oh yeah,
we talk about that in our episode, so go back and take a look at that.
Oh yeah,
if you're looking for old classic sci-fi, another great film. So next week, Ex Machina. We're going to jump outside of the old aspect because after watching this movie, all I could think of was AI, and what happens when you let computers take control. And we all know this is a good film, and I hope you enjoy it. And we will catch you next week.
Have a good night.
Later.